Hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday from Paris, London, Ireland. I'm on a big trip. So right now I'm in London. Yesterday I was in Ireland and I landed in the spot where Dooans originated. So in that, it led me to the thought of generational consciousness. Mary said yes to it in Luke 1:38 when she said yes to being the mother of the Lord. Elizabeth said yes to it in Luke 1 as well, when Mary went there after she had learned that Elizabeth was pregnant and after the angel told Mary she was going to be the mother of the Lord. Elizabeth was Mary's aunt. She wasn't her mom. Mary didn't go to mom or dad's house. And so as we're talking about this, I just want you to hear me when I say that not having children doesn't disqualify you from the thought process of generational consciousness. Abraham said yes to it in Hebrews 11 in verse 8 and 9 when he convinced Isaac and Jacob that they were co-heirs of the promise as well. Noah said yes to it in his one act of obedience. Moses said yes to it. We can see it throughout the entire history. Generational consciousness is huge, but we want to be intentional with that environment. There was a generation born in the wilderness that never knew Egypt. They never knew slavery. But there was also many generations born in Egypt that never knew freedom. And so you can be conscientious of the future generations and the next generation, but if it's not freedom, they're coming into slavery. Whatever environment we birth the next generation into is going to be what they know. Generational consciousness isn't the same as tradition. It's not doing what we've always done, because that's all we know. In the story of John the Baptizer, when Elizabeth was pregnant, everyone in the community assumed she was going to name him Zechariah after his father. And when she said to the baby would be named John, they were shocked. And they were like, what? No one in the family line is named that. And so when I was reading that, and I was thinking about this concept that sometimes when you're going to do something different, you need to be called something different. You need to be called something different than tradition. You need to be called something and identified as something different. Different than your past has called you, different than tradition has called you. Sometimes the demand of tradition in our life or the only environment we've ever known is what keeps us in our Egypts. The only environment Elizabeth had ever known before she became pregnant with John was she was barren. She didn't know any different. We honor tradition, but when were we taught that honor was more important than honesty? I believe it's the most honoring thing, to be honest. And it's okay to say, I honor traditions. I honor where I came from. I honor those that brought me up, that taught me traditions. I honor where I was. But then to say yes to legacy. Say yes to the call of the next generations. To say I was made for more. I was made for different. And I don't want any more generations born in Egypt. Legends are something we honor. Legacies are something we build. We can't build a legend bigger than it already is. So I encourage you to leave your Egypts. Say yes to building a legacy. Yes to building a legacy of freedom for the next generation, for yourself. You were built for the promised land. That's your promise, is freedom. I want to encourage you to honor tradition, but to look forward to legacy. next week, I will be in Scotland, and so you'll probably get it at a different time again next week. But we are going to Paris in about 6 hours, and so we're doing the video a little early tonight. I love you. The Father loves you. You're perfectly loved.